returning to kind of your timeline here. So book number 9 is coming out this year. You
Yes.
promised everyone.
Yep. Unless I
Uh,
die, which I have no control over it. But if I'm alive, that book is coming out.
don't die. Don't pull a Robert Jordan. Uh,
Oh, I'm gonna try not to.
do that. Uh, and then is the series complete?
No. So book 9 is actually part of technically book 6. So there's one, two, three, four, five, six. 6 is actually made up of 6 volumes. So they're shorter stories. So each book is, I don't know, around 100,000 words, which is short for me, by the way. And so book 6 is comprised of several volumes. Are you familiar with Crash, the movie Crash?
It sounds vaguely familiar, but go ahead and
Okay,
give me the
well, there's
premise.
like Sandra Bullock's in it, and like Ludacris, and like a few other big names. And essentially, what it is you watch all these like different storylines happening um, through the movie, and then at the end, you realize how they all relate to each other, like how somehow they end up creating this overall story. That's why it's called Crash. You have these several seemingly unrelated timelines that crash into each other. Um, so that's kind of where book 6, multiple volumes, came from, is that I started writing from different points of view because the world, Wendy's world, became so large. And when you're writing first person, it's very easy to get stuck in their head and not really have a concept of what's happening outside of the main character. And so I combated that by having other points of view, and then showing how those points of view end up relating to Wendy's story in unexpected ways. So I've actually really enjoyed writing those volumes. And then once the 6 volumes are done, there will be one final book, book 7, at the end.
Is that what brings these 6 crash books,
Well,
if you will, back together?
well, no, they'll come together in volume 6 of book 6. If that makes sense. So the final volume will bring them all together. But really, you know, they can't. You do see how they relate to Wendy's story toward the end of each volume. So you kind of know how they relate to each other, and then you're going to kind of see Wendy's side of it at book 6. You know how each one played into her timeline.
Gotcha. So we got the 6 more books of book 6, and then book 7, which will be book.
Yeah. So we're on volume. I have published volume 3. Okay. So then the one that I'm putting out this year is volume 4, which will be the 9th book that I've written. Period. If that makes sense.
All right. Now, once you have finished this series, is that like your work completed, or are you going to start on other series?
Um, you know, I have observed my daughter and those like her, and they always say that your the people who make you a good, like, make you a popular author, the people who are most supportive, are called super fans. Super fans are vitally important to being able to create a franchise, if you will. And those super fans are never tired of your universe, and they will, like my daughter, she's super into Avatar, like loves Avatar. She not only loves Avatar, she goes on Wattpad and reads every single piece of fan fiction, no matter how terrible it is, because
Wow.
she just cannot get enough of that universe. And it's not even that it has to be the same. It doesn't have to like align with the rest of the story. It just has to have the same characters who are somewhat similar. Like in Avatar, they are waterbender, earthbender, fire, all that. You could have the same characters but have them not do bending. As long as the same characters are there, they're happy. Like they want to read more of those characters. They are invested. And so I can't say for sure because, like, best laid plans and all that. But I definitely want to stay in the universe, whether it's previous generation to Wendy or following generation to Wendy or side characters that people have loved.
So just
I
keep
enjoy
building on
writing.
this
Yeah,
universe.
I really enjoy writing Wendy and I enjoy her universe. And so, like, why wouldn't I continue to do something? Just because the series is over doesn't mean the story has to be over, that I can't give people more of what they want. I'm really more about my own self-discovery than I am about which story it is and whether it's different or not. So chances are I'll probably end up staying in that universe in some way, shape, or form.
Random question about your super fans.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have a name for super fans of your work?
No, no. That would maybe one day. I don't know. I'll have to ask some of them next time I encounter. Like, do you have a Colorworld fan, like super fan name? Let's come up with
Okay,
a name
cool.
for that.
We'll put that out to the internet.
Yeah,
Everybody watching, come up with a name for
super fan
super
name.
fans of the Colorworld
Mm-hmm.
world. No, I remember it was at a Comic-Con. Somebody came up and told me that they were a Conradiac. And I was like, sweet! So, I was wondering if there were other names out there. So that's really cool. All right. We put that out on the internet. We'll see what they come up with.
Yeah.
Because I imagine you have a fair amount of super fans by now, right? You have traveled the
Oh,
country,
droves of super
droves
fans.
of super fans. Excellent,
Yeah,
excellent.
yeah.
Uh, see, they deserve a name. Uh, excellent, excellent. Yeah. What is next? You said you don't have to travel as much now. What did you mean by that? How are things going?
So we have decided to trust in the internet. Neither Brad nor myself are big fans of the internet because we just don't understand how it works. I mean, I know how it works practically, but I don't know how it works in like things becoming viral or popular. And we have a pretty significant fan base, not just of the book series, but of Colorworld, the brand in general, because we do lots of other things with Colorworld besides books. And so we have a fair number of followers who, like I said in the beginning, selling books is more about selling yourself than it is about selling the book. The pitch is great and everything, but your personality while you give the pitch, the confidence with which you give the pitch, what kind of conversation precedes the pitch or follows the pitch, those are what sells books. And so for us, we've established that fan base of people who like us. We actually we have a marketing firm at this point who in the last month completely rebuilt our Colorworld Books website because it's always sucked. Like, it's kind of one of those things that's like, just, we haven't spent a lot of time on it because we just haven't believed in the internet. And so our marketing guy, who's worked for us for a year now, is like, your website sucks. I'm gonna fix it. So he's been fixing our site so that when we drive traffic there, people will actually be like, oh, this is actually a nice looking book series, not just a trashy looking book series. So that's kind of our angle at this point. We are doing a handful of conventions this year, a handful, like once a month maybe. But as far as the books are concerned, we're really focusing on online sales now. Whereas before we were focusing on in-person sales and like spreading the word that way. But we have kind of other endeavors to try to drive traffic to the books besides that, but that's where our focus is.
All right. And what is that website?
Colorworldbooks.com.
All right, everybody, check it out.
The United States spelling, not the Canadian or the UK spelling.
Not
Colorworld.
color.
Yeah, Colorworld.
All right. You should get a Canadian version that you just add the U into color.
Yeah. I probably could get that website, to be honest, like Colorworld with the, yeah.